Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome to Music Talk. Today we're going to be doing another musical artist history video. Today we're going to be talking about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is an American singer/songwriter from Pennsylvania. At age 14, she became the youngest artist signed by Sony ATV Music Publishing House, and at age 15, she signed her first record deal. Her self-titled album was released in 2006. It was the longest charting album of the 2000s in the US, making her the youngest person to single-handedly write and perform a #1 song on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, that song being Our Song. In 2008, she released her second album, Fearless, this album being many of the fans' favorites from her country music era, having such hits like Love Story and You Belong With Me. This album won 4 Grammys, including Album of the Year. In 2010, her third album, Speak Now, was released. This album kept the similar sound of the previous works, with many hits like Back to December, Mean, and many others. This album won 2 Grammys and sold over 1 million copies in the first week. In 2012, her fourth album, Red, was released. Definitely a weird album. It's half country and half pop. I would consider the bridge between her country music era and then transitioning into the pop music era. There's a lot of good hits on here like I Knew You Were Trouble, 22, We're Never Getting Back Together. But like I said, I was more used to her country music and was not ready for this new sound yet. This album was well received among fans, but even to a whole new sound. You know, it still kind of divided her fan base for a little while. In 2014, her fifth and full pop album, 1989, was released. I always loved her country music, and I was never really much into her pop stuff, but this was the album that really got me into her pop music. The first track I heard was Blank Space. I believe that was the first single to be released on this, and I was hooked immediately. This album has a lot of great tracks like Blank Space, Style, Out of the Woods, Shake It Off, Bad Blood, Wildest Dreams, Clean. It just goes on and on and on. In 2017, her sixth album, Reputation, was released. Now I'm going to go ahead and say it. Out of all of her pop music, from Red to 1989 to this one and to the one we're going to be talking about soon, this is her best pop album, hands down. I like every single track on this. Now usually when I hear an album with multiple tracks, you know, there'll be like 1 or 2 that I'm like, eh. But there are those rare gems where I like every single track on the album, and this is one of them. As far as her pop music, up until this very moment in 2020, she has yet to top this. Now, a lot of people will say that this is her best pop album, 1989, and I agree. I get where you're coming from. I honestly do. So it's a tie between these two albums. I don't think she could ever top these two albums. Now, I'm going to get into a touchy subject at this portion of the video. If anybody gets offended by what I'm going to say, it's just my personal opinion, but let's get into it. In 2019, which was last year, her 7th and most recent album, Lover, was released. Now I'm gonna go jump right off the gate and say I do not like this album. Out of all her works, this, as far as her pop music, this is her worst. I mean, even, you know, just as far as all of her albums combined, this is by far her worst album yet. Let me try and give you just a little bit of backstory first. Upon leaving Big Machine Records and moving on to Republic Records for this album in particular, there was a lot of nasty drama behind the scenes, but we won't get into all that for obvious reasons. Now let's talk about why I dislike this album. Now there's a few tracks that I do enjoy, like Lover, Soon You'll Get Better, and Cruel Summer. But out of an 18-track album, that's a bad sign if you only like 3 or 4 tracks. That's a very bad sign. What really turned me off about this album is that with her music in particular, there was always something for everybody. You know, whether it was the country music or the pop rendition, Something along those lines. There was always something for everybody to enjoy. Men, women, whatever. Now, I know a lot of people have different religions, different beliefs throughout the world, and that's what makes the world work. You know, we all have different opinions on things. Now, the thing about this album, it just seems like she was just shoving her beliefs down your throat, so to speak. You know, basically, either you agree with me or get out of here, or you need to calm down, so to speak. She even went as far as to make a diss to one of the owners of Big Machine Records called The Man. When viewing the music videos, some people might get the wrong idea. I don't know. The video just seemed like more of like a feminist movement to me, but I know, I get the context. It's about the owner of Big Machine Records, but some of the stuff that I saw in the video, it just seemed like more of a derogatory thing towards men. I don't know if Taylor realized this, but Taylor has male fans, including me. And I know people are going to get the wrong idea about that, but that's just how I thought. That's what I think about the song in general. That's what I thought about it. But that's just my take on the album in particular. If she makes a new body of work in the next year or two, I will give it a chance like I gave this album a chance. I'm always open for new things, but hopefully she will do better. You know, hopefully she will be able to top Reputation one day. But then again, every artist has their bad album, and I always give an open mind about that situation. So I'll still be supportive to her music. Hopefully she will have some new stuff coming out soon, and hopefully it will be stuff that I will, not just me, but everybody will enjoy. Because one more thing about this album, it just seemed like it divided her fans once again. With when she was transitioning into the pop music, it divided her fans then. But then, you know, they kind of got used to the pop music with 1989 and so on and so forth. But with this album, the fans have divided once again. Again, more based upon people's beliefs. It just kind of went like that. But hopefully her next album that she will release in the next year or two, it'll bring us back together again. And yeah, so that's just my take on it. But there you go, guys. There is my history on Taylor Swift. If you like music talk, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll put it right there. If you want some ATV merch, I'll be sure to put the link in the description below. If you want more videos like this, I have a ton of ideas to do music talk related videos. Not just history videos, not just album reaction and reviews. I got other ideas that I'm going to be releasing through time. So be sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps out. So I'll see you guys next time on ATV.